said about a lot of things. And then for some of you, I'm also going to take out time to talk to you about the reason why you may have stayed so long. Why you might have, stayed so long, stated so many things about what you wanted concerning a partner in marriage, and you haven't found one till now. What could be the problem? Why is it that you're not finding somebody? Why can't you just find somebody like IYKERESA? Why can't you just find someone who's going to just fit in? Why is it happening that way? I can assure you that we will look at a few things. Still hope that some of your questions will actually be answered. Some of those questions will be answered. So right now, I am going to, I'm looking forward to bringing in IYKERESA as soon as they're ready. As soon as I see them come online, I will definitely, bring them in as soon as they come online. I'm still searching. I'm still looking for them to actually tell me that they are here, and you can be sure that I will definitely bring them in. Now, I would say that I am amazed at most of you, because you have genuinely become a part of this movement. I call it a movement, and most of you have genuinely become a part of this movement. Most of you have become, what you're doing is sincere. It's from the depths of your heart. And so when I tell you that, it's like you're sowing a seed, and the same kind of seed that you sow right now is going to be sowed back unto you. Do not think, do not think that, okay, Mavis, after Mavis says we should talk now, they will join us soon. All right, I hear that. I hear you say that. All right, great. By the way, FM Mavis, I really love you. I really appreciate you. I have seen a lot of your works, and I really appreciate it. Lucy, you're around. It's good to see you around. Dr. Cherry, oh great. Dr. Cherry, it's wonderful to have you. It's great to see you. I'm so excited that you're a part of this. Okay, all right. So Mavis is asking me that he wants more volume. All right, so I don't know if the volume is good enough right now. So Mavis, just tell me straight away if you think the volume is fantastic enough. All right, so True Love Expressions, great. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing up. It's great. It's great to have you. Okay, now so Mavis says that the volume is good enough. If there's anything you need to let me know, just quickly tell me about it, and I will let you know. Okay, so I'm waiting for IYKERESA to join us right now, and then we just go on. And then I'm going to still, like I said, I'm going to take out time to talk to you still while IYKERESA is around. Oh, great. Now just look at them. Look at them. This guy. Now the food is.
Good evening. Hey guys.
Hi guys. Hi sir.
How you doing? Good evening.
Now the truth is, these guys are superstars, and there's nothing we can do to take that away from them. So and that's cool. But I noticed that anyone that gets in contact with you, becomes free. It's amazing. You bring increase into the lives of people. And I think that's great, and I think that's wonderful. You know, what you do, we must at least, we need to let you know about it. We need to tell you about it so that you have an idea of what the kind of contributions you're making into the lives of people. You guys, people get in touch with you, and there's an increase for them. People come in contact with you, and they just become fruitful. It's amazing. You know, there are people that are being fruitful, but when you come into contact with them, you're not fruitful. There's nothing happening. Do you understand? We've seen people like that. But your own case is different. Your own case is different. When people get in touch with you, you know, when people get into contact with you, there's always an increase for them. There's always an increase. It's like certain doors just open for them
that were closed before. Now, so you need to understand that this grace is upon your life. And that's why you need to be very careful with your life and very careful with the way you deal with God. Honestly, because if you ask me, I would say that these things are not happening without God. These things that are happening are most certainly happening because of God. And you know, when you know that you have the backing of God, what happens is you are confident.
Yeah.
You're very, very confident. You're sure of yourself. When you know that you have the backing of God, you're very confident. You know, and so that's why you guys need to stick to that. Stick and stick and stick into that. Okay, so we have a lot of people telling you you're looking very beautiful, and you are. And I'll also say this to you.
Thank you, sir.
Your videos have been lovely. You know, I've watched some of your videos where you guys dance, and it's so wonderful that it looks like a part of a movie, a clip in a movie. It looks like a musical. It looks like a clip in a movie, and I'm excited about it. And I'll tell you something. A lot of people are also excited about it, and they're talking about it. A lot of people are sharing those videos. A lot of people are, you know, looking at this. And people who never watched you, you know, while you were on the show, actually right now are asking, who are these people that everybody is talking about? Who is IYKERESA? Who is this Ikena guy, and who is this Teresa girl? Who are these people? They're trying to find out who you are, and I think it's good. Now, so those photo shoots are wonderful. We want more of the photo shoots. We want more of it.
Of course.
Also,
Thank you.
also, those dance videos are wonderful as well. We want a lot of those dance videos as well because they're wonderful. They're great. They're very good. They're very good. So we want more of it. Okay, so having said all that, let's get straight into business. Let's go into business right now. I want to find out. You must understand that it's not easy when it comes to finding a life partner. I must be very frank with you because apart from being a marriage counselor, I'm also a matchmaker, and I've been a matchmaker for years. And by the grace of God, we're getting results. And God has been great for us, great to us, good to us, helping us, and all of that. But I can assure you that one of the things I've discovered as a matchmaker is that a lot of people have not found it easy finding their life partner. And you know, it is not a Nigerian thing or a Kenyan thing or a South African thing or a Ghanaian thing or, you know, a Sierra Leonean thing or an African thing in general. It is a global thing. It's a global thing. Globally, people in all the continents that we have, people are not finding it easy to actually find their life partners, you know, and so you have done that. And one of the things I want to see happen within the IYKERESA family is that the fact that you have been blessed enough to find each other in the IYKERESA family, for as many as are seeking to find someone, that good person to get married to, they have to find it right there. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys have to create a lot of opportunities.
Amen.
You know, you're going
for them.
For people to find such opportunities to know that, wow, I had searched all my life until I got in touch with this guy, and suddenly somehow doors are opening. I'm meeting people, and as I'm meeting people, these are good people, and whatever I'm meeting right now is different from what I've met in the past. This is certainly going to last. This is going to last. All right.
Amen.
And it will be so for them in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. All right. But let me find out something. I'm going to ask you, Teresa, how in the world did you know that Ike was the guy? Before now, have you ever secretly met him somewhere? Maybe both of you went out to buy dundu and akara. I don't know if you know what they call dundu and akara. You know, you went out to buy dundu, and Ike was nasty to you on that day, and he stood in front of you on the line. There was a long queue, and then he quickly came up in front of you, and you told him, "Excuse me, I'm on the line," and he said, "So," and so you remember his face, and you probably made up your mind you're not going to ever forgive him whenever you see him again, and then suddenly you saw him at the love side, and then I'm just saying that may not be the situation, but have you ever known him before? Have you ever known him before then?
No, certainly no, sir. Actually,
The first time, do you remember the first time you set your eyes on him? Do you remember what he was doing? Was he rushing to go to the toilet? What was he doing? Do you remember, or you've forgotten? If you remember, what was it exactly?
Okay, it was some type of, okay, let me explain it. The first time I met him or the first time I saw him, because we didn't actually meet, like know each other per se. Yeah. But the first time I saw him was at the auditions. But I didn't really like see him. I didn't really notice him like that. I just knew that I spoke to him during the speed date. But I would say the first time I actually set my eyes on him was at the front door of the love pad when we're going in, like after the interview on stage and all of that. So at the front door of the love pad, I saw him and he looked so good. And then I was like, his hairstyle kind of thing. Yeah. And then I was just like, I looked at every other person, every other guy there, and they were all looking good, but he was looking really dapper. That's what the word I would use. And then I was like, okay, he's handsome. But I actually didn't really look at it that way, though. I just saw him. I'm like, oh, he looks nice. So I don't know if I initiated the conversation first, or he mentioned something about looking for someone to make his hair in the house, and then I volunteered to actually help him make his hair, and then he was like, "Oh, you're nice."
That was the very very first conversation.
Yeah, that was the first conversation we had, like in front of the love pad door while going in. And so after that time, I don't think we spoke again that day.
No, we didn't speak again until speed date.
Yeah. So we did not know each other outside Ultimate Love. No, we met at Ultimate Love.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow, that is great to know. I mean, I will not have known that. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So when you saw her, Ike, when you saw her, what was it that what was it? What did you see? What did you see when you saw her? Let me ask that.
Okay, like she said, I can't really remember because I can hear you.
It's a bit faint, right?
I can hear you. It's kind of like a background sound, but I can hear you.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my earpiece. Dominic, please tell Farrell to give me my earpiece that I plugged. All right, so I'm going to change my earpiece, and I think it's going to be better. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go on.
Can I still go on?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, yes. So like she said, at the AEDs, which is the audition, I didn't really, we were like at that stage because it was like the fourth, a lot of stages, but at that was like the finals. So I didn't really notice her because there was like plenty guys to talk with, so a lot of people were around during the auditions. Yeah, so we didn't really have that conversation. So first time I now saw her proper was before we entered the house, in front of the love pad's door, because we had to wait for all the love guests to arrive before we proceeded to enter into the house. So yeah, while I was having a conversation with Dr. Cherry, which is one of the love guests, she was just directly beside Dr. Cherry. And that was when I actually noticed her, because she was wearing red, and she wore red lipstick. She was looking beautiful. So I'm like, I was looking at, because me, I like to look at everybody. So I was gauging all the love guests. Like I was like, sizing them up and just looking at the physical, because then we had no intellectual conversation. Though me, I'm an intellectual conversation kind of guy. And to talk to you, to make a connection. I wouldn't just, I can see statement about you, yet looks are always deceiving. You never judge a book by its cover. Some people looked at me, said, and like, oh, this guy must be a bad guy. He's not here for love, that kind of thing. But me, I know never to judge a book by its cover. So I wasn't really looking for how you're looking. But with Teresa, she already struck that off my lips, because I'm like, she's tall, she's slim, she's beautiful, she has a nice voice. I was already digging the physical attributes that are apparent. Yeah, because those ones are apparent, and you can't like somebody's personality at first sight, except if you've seen that person express themselves. Yeah, I didn't see her express herself at that time, but she made a kind gesture, because when I was talking with Dr. Cherry, and she was like, oh, how am I even going to do my hair? I'm like, I don't even know that. I just hope Auntie would be able to like give us some people. And Teresa was beside her at that time, and I didn't had any conversation with her yet, but she was like, she just offered, like, she's like, oh yeah, I could do that for you. And I'm like, okay, thank you for offering. It's like an act, to me, it was an act of kindness. And
wow,
I saw Teresa on a scale of like maybe 5, then just that act of kindness took it like three notches up. You get, so then that was the first spark. So I'm like, okay. So during speed dating, we got to talk more, even though it was like for 5 minutes. But yeah, it was like 5 minutes of bliss to me. So I'm like, I'm seeing something interesting. So, but at the end of the day, they had to pick people, and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. But we didn't pick each other on the first day. Yeah. It was the girls to pick, so that didn't happen. So the second day, that day I didn't really talk to her again, because we were supposed to date the 24 hours. And me, I'm a respectful person. So I just respected her, and yeah. So, but the second day, we speed dated again. And then I had another amazing conversation with Teresa. So then it was my turn to pick, and trust me, I didn't waste my ammo. I went for the cue. Yeah, so
yes, he did.
So I went for the cue. I had to rig my role a bit, like I wanted to pick someone, but I already had my head set on who I was gonna pick at the time. So I picked Teresa, and since that moment we couldn't get enough of each other, man. It's just been smooth sailing since then.
Wow, that's great. That's really wonderful. I mean, that is, as you're talking, I'm thinking, because I like to process thoughts in my mind, and as you're talking, I'm thinking, and I'm actually looking at that beauty that comes with getting to meet someone, getting to become attracted to that person, and then getting to now find yourself wanting to now get up with it and go. You want to get up with it and go. You want to get up with it and go, so that you don't lose that person while you're being slow. Because one of the things about so many people is a lot of people have lost someone that they should have been with because they were just slow about it. In life, there are certain things you're not just going to be slow about. Otherwise, you will mess up big time, Now, there are a number of people who have told me, somebody just called you sharp boy there. That's wonderful. Like quite a number, yeah, Now you find out that there have been quite a number of people who would find somebody, they will like the person, and then they probably they hesitate.
Yeah.
You know, they begin to hesitate, and then they lose the person. Do you think there's always a second chance? Do you think there's always a second chance when you miss out on someone? Yeah.
You notice that you have a second chance, you have even a third chance. Then
all right.
Even when someone is going, you can still, if you put in work, you can still get that person, but you definitely have to put in work. There's sometimes that the universe or God will put you in the right place at the right time, and that is the easiest time for you to make your move. But sometimes time and space might be a constraint, but if you can still put in work, you still get things done and still get what you want at the end of the day. But yeah,
wonderful.
So get second chances.
So would you then say that you had a second chance, because for the first time you had a chance to date in the speed date, it wasn't Teresa, but eventually you know, you had a chance with her and you started to make up your mind, you know?
Yeah, I would say that was my first chance though. I don't know.
Okay, that was your first. Okay.
Yeah, because it was my turn to pick. Yeah.
Oh, so I get that. You didn't pick. Oh, because I've seen people right there. People were writing that, okay, Teresa, you had a chance to pick him, you didn't pick him. But when he had the chance to pick you, he picked you. I saw people writing up there. Okay, so I understand that. I understand that right now. Okay, but when you picked Teresa, do you think she was excited enough to say, wow, finally? Was that the kind of attitude she had?
I wouldn't know for sure, because for one I wouldn't say I was excited, but with Teresa I was really wanted to know more. That was why I picked her. Probably had conversations at length, because in the love part, once you have like a date, you like that person's date will be around that person most of the time in the first initial stages. So the only conversation I'd had with her before then was the one we had outside. That's before we entered the love pad. And so with those two, I was already in, and my excitement was the intrigue, the curiosity. I really wanted to find out more about her. And that speed date gave me the avenue to, you know, do what I wanted to do. And it was really, really amazing, because my first speed date, I didn't connect with her, because I don't know, I just didn't connect with her. So it was just bland. It was very on a very friendly level, nothing more. But with Teresa, I felt like, okay, there's something there. Yeah. So when the next day, when it was like different people's turn to pick, and and that guy picked Teresa, we were still like around each other, because the day before we felt each other's, the connection was already there. So I was already tethered to her, she was already tethered to me, and even the person she was speed dating at that time, the 24-hour speed date, the person had to let her go, like, man, I know your connection with this guy is just too much, so I'm gonna just give you your time. To me, I was excited. Yeah.
I think I heard you guys talking about it. You guys were lying down, you were talking about it. Did you talk about it?
Yeah.
I think
we talked about it.
Because that was the first time I ever set my eyes on both of you. And when I set my eyes on both of you, I realized that she was talking about somebody else, you know, and you were listening to her. What you did was you gave her listening ears. And then I was saying to myself that this is interesting. Now, these people are so connected that I don't see why they need to go anywhere again. That was going to my mind. That was why as soon as I came into the love part, to waste time at all, I had to make that statement. You know, I told you that, look, you guys, there's a connection. I said, okay, yes, indeed, Teresa looks like somebody that should be in the convent because she'll make a beautiful reverend sister. She will take care of all. She will take care of all the children, you know, in the schools. She will take care of all the people in the convents and the Catholic parish and all this sort of thing. She'll be the kind of person everybody will come to for help and open up to and tell her their problems. Do you understand? I said, but despite all that, please don't let her end up in the convent. She's very calm.
Yeah.
Both of you can sit together, you can plan together, you can do a lot of things together. You know, both of you can do a lot of things together. All right, so having said that, would you then say that it is that connection is very important in finding a partner? Would you say that connection is very important, is very key?
Yes, I would say connection is key. It's important for me because that was one thing I actually prayed for while trying to go into the love part. I was like, anybody I meet, I actually want to have a new connection with this person. I don't want it to be I don't want my judgment or my decision to be clouded with the fact that we're supposed to actually be with someone so that we can be sustained in the house. So
wow.
I had to make that prayer and tell God, for me to actually bring out my A game, for me to be myself, for me to be real, I have to have a genuine connection. And that's why I know most people are saying that first week I was confused, that, oh yeah, in a way I was like 2 or 3 days. But that does not mean I was actually praying because I needed to, like, you know, I needed to listen and hear from God and like, okay, who should I go with now? Who's gonna make me happy? Who's gonna make me bring out my true self, you know? So I had to really pray about it, and connection is key, really. And that's why when I met Ike, the connection we had was like, it was fast. It was like like speed of light. So just, you know, so I actually never expected to have such connection with him. So that's why I was just like, wow, God, what is going on? You know? And then I had to differentiate lust from, I'm sorry, I don't know if you know this part, but lust from actual genuine feelings. So I was just like, God, I hope I'm just lost I feel for this guy. I hope I'm not just attracted to his, you know, physical and the way he talks and all of that. I hope it's real connection I have with him, and I hope he really cares about me as much as I want to care about him. So that was why I was like, okay, I was giving it time a bit, telling him about things, and I wanted to see his reaction to things and all of that. And then I realized that we had like almost same mentality. I always say he's very smart and intelligent, and me, I love very smart men. I love people that are intelligent. So I was just like, okay, this is one thing has checked my box, and then he's also family oriented. He's a go-getter. So everything was just connecting to what I actually wanted in a man, you know, to find like in the love part. So then we finally zinged. Zinged is like a connection.
Yeah.
So we zinged and when was that, baby? I think was it the 14th or something? So I wasn't feeling fine that first week.
Before the 4th, it was on the 10th. Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't feeling too well, and
11th.
My tummy was really upset. Me
11th.
And then I was speed dating with another love guest 3rd day, but he was trying to make me point. I was a bit irritated with people around. Oh, you guys give me space in my head, though, but like, please, I'm tired, my tummy is really aching. But immediately he came and held my hand, and he's like, don't worry, you'll be fine. No, his thick voice, you'll be fine. And then I was just like,
yeah.
Everything in my body like just calmed down. I just felt this cold chills. I'm like, ooh, that kind of thing. And that's when I realized, okay, there's actually a real connection here, and he really cares about me. So connection is really key. Everything has to, like, I always say, don't manage. Don't say, oh, this person I'm just trying to manage. Because once you start managing, you start losing. Like, the connection is no longer, you know, strong enough. So I realized I was not managing with this thing that I wrote down and prayed for. So that connection is key. In summary, with
yeah. connection is really key for me, because sometimes you might see, let me just open my heart to like give this person a chance, but we going into the love part. Number one thing, you should be going there open-minded, because yes, it's a love show. It might go either ways. Yes. Either you just doesn't work for you. So me, I was already going with an open heart, and to me, I think with my head and my heart, but mostly with my head, and I was making calculations and everything. So I talked with every love guest, and I was just unconsciously downloading different things, different personalities, different everything. Yeah. But Teresa stood out. Like, she stood out in what I wanted in a woman that I would want to go the long haul with. Like, because I wasn't looking for superficial things like, oh, how fine you are, or how. To me, it was like goals. It was like the connection was. I'm sure sometimes it's hard for me to describe it, but I just knew within me that, okay, Teresa ticks all my boxes, and she's my ideal woman, my specifications. So
yeah, and even,
my specifications, which is
I always counted myself lucky, even while I was in the house, because to me, you have to be lucky to find the one in that small space.
Yes.
In that small space. So I always counted
because
myself
that place can actually mess with your head. You know, you feel like you actually have a real connection with this person, but you just realize that, oh, it's actually just because of confinement.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I had to like really think and, you know, pray and all of that. And that's why when Auntie asked me during our first Auntie session, she was like, if Ikenna doesn't pick you, if Ike doesn't pick you, are you ready to go home? What came to my head was, I had to scan through all the guys again. I thought of all the guys. I was like, I counted, and you know, I was like, all these guys are okay. But I know I genuinely won't connect with them at the level I will connect to him. So I told Auntie, if he doesn't call my name, I'm going home. There's no point. You know, and Auntie was shocked. Yeah, of course I knew he was going to call my name, but at that point I also told myself, if maybe something happened and he decided to change his mind on me, I was still ready to go home, because there's no point doing what I'm not, you know, comfortable with. I don't know how to bring zone you and hurt your feelings, and I'm trying so hard. Before now, I used to lead people on, so I told myself, you know what, I'm going to drop that. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If I don't want you, kind of thing. So no leading on. So when I got to love, I'm like, I'm not leaving anybody on, you know. So yeah.
That's the story.
That's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to still ask you a few other questions, which of course help you to help us to understand where you guys are, you know, generally, and because what you've said so far has been mind-blowing. It's been very helpful, you know, because a lot of people are getting to understand some things better. Some things are becoming clearer to them about love and about their own relationship and about their own lives as well. Now, Teresa, you said something. You talked about the fact that you didn't want it to be lost, you know. You wanted to be sure, is this genuine love or is this lost? You know, let me quickly talk a bit on that. Let me talk a bit about the difference. Now, love is a need. Love is a need. Lost is a want. Something you want, but you do not need. I'll take that again so you can understand it. Now, I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but let me, since you mentioned that, you know, that part, let me just quickly help you to understand it very well. Love is a need, a need. Lost is something you want. Now, love, when we say love is a need, what is a need? A need is a state that requires supply and relief. A need is a state that requires supply and relief.
That means I have a need. For example, I have a need, I'm very thirsty, and I have a need for cold water. Do you understand? I'm so thirsty. I'm actually parched with thirst. The moment I get the water, it's a need for me at that moment. It's not lost. Yeah. The moment I get that water, you know, I do not just have the need met, but I also have relief. There is the supply, and the supply brings relief into my life. That is what a need. A lot of people know that they need love, but what they do not understand that what they have may not be love, because what love brings is it supplies a need in your life, and in the process it brings about relief. So you are relieved. You know, remember how you take water when you're very thirsty? You know the kind of your world, even if you may want water later, you know the kind of relief that comes into your life. It's so much such a relief. That's what love is. Love is a need. Love is not something you just want. Love for every human being is a need. Now, if you're not getting it from the right, if you're not even getting it at all, you're not going to have any relief in your life. Do you understand? Yeah. Relief brings about peace of mind. Relief makes you to be at ease. Relief makes you to be comfortable. That's why when you find out that you are with someone who genuinely loves you and supplies love into your life, you find out that you are relieved. It happens to people. You may have dated so many people in your life. You may have had so many relationships that never worked. But that does not mean you will never have a relationship that will never work. It does not mean you will never really find love. You will eventually find love. And when you find love, because you will, it's not if you find love. When you find love, you will find out that there will be a relief. You will have a sense of relief in your life. You will just say, wow. You will relax and realize, I am home. I am actually home. So there will be a relief. Now, what about lust? Lust is a want. What is lust? Lust is intense longing for things. That's what lust is. Lust is intense longings for things. When you just feel you got to have it, 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 you got to have it. You know, at the end of the day, it's an intense longing for things. It never satisfies. What lust does is it keeps on creating a vacuum in your life. So the more you are with the person who you are lusting after, the more you find out that you just don't think you have enough of him or of her. Now, there's a difference with love. With love, you realize that you are home. There's nothing like you keep wanting that person. You know deep down you have this person. Love gives you hope. Love gives you certainty. You just realize that you have this person. You don't start feeling insecure, feeling, let me do this, let me do that, let me get him, let me do this. But if you are trying to force yourself into somebody's life, you will know, because it just does not work. You will know because you will try all the tactics in the world and you realize you're not just getting the person still. And so lust is intense longing for things. It's intense longings for things. You are longing and longing and longing and longing. But the more you have, you know, the more you get, actually the less you have of the person. The more you get of that person, the less you have of that person. And that is what love. He wasn't thinking of lusting. He was actually looking for love. For you, you came specifically also for love. And I like what you kept on saying. You said you kept on praying. You kept on praying. You were using those words. And a lot of people will criticize you and say, what has prayers got to do with it? This is what we're talking about. Why is she getting spiritual? Why what does she want? Does she want us to think she's holy? You haven't said anything wrong. We pray. As a matter of fact, Jesus Christ said, men ought to pray and not to faint. He made it clear that we got to pray. Okay? It was so clear. We're also instructed to pray without ceasing. When you're going to have your first child, Ikenna is going to pray. I'm telling you, if he has not been fasting before, he will fast. They'll bring him food. He will say, they'll bring him food. He will say, no, that's not what is doing me now. That's not what's doing me now. He said, but eat now. You haven't eaten since morning. He said, no, I will eat. I will eat. I don't have appetite. Do you understand? And people will find him praying. Why? Because he realizes that he needs God at this time. And at every point in time in our lives, we're always going to need God. Don't let anybody fool you. You are always going to need God. We have a generation that does not understand that, but eventually they will understand it by force. Because by the time push comes to shove, people are going to realize God is not the kind of being you push away to the background. By the time push comes to shove, the world, this generation is going to realize that God is not the kind of being you push into background. If you want to go anywhere in your life, God has to be in the forefront. You got to put him ahead, you got to put him behind, you got to put him on all your sides, and then you see things work. Come on, we're talking about Ike right now. All right? Think about it. A year ago, I'm sure I didn't have more than maybe 2,000 followers on Instagram a year ago. And by the time he posts something, he'll say, let me to kuku posting. He will say, this Nigeria shall we go survive, knowing that Nigerians can be very emotional, and they might start saying, not true, I don't know, say you talk more and everything. But he will just find out that he will go away. By the time he comes back, 5 hours, nobody has said anything. Then after 7 hours, the only person that will like that post will be somebody that Ike knows that this person does not like me. So the only reason why the person liked the post is to show him that I know that nobody liked what you wrote, but I just want to show you that I know. Do you understand? That's the truth. But look at it. Look at it a year later. Look at what has happened a year later. Look at where he is. Are you going to tell me that God is not involved? Come on, it's not possible. It's not possible.
God is involved.
It's not possible. I'm telling you. You know, people are, it's not easy for you to get people to like you. I'm telling you, when people like you, they like you. When people like you, they like you. And I will be frank with you that the IYKERESA family, who actually like you, they sincerely like you. I have seen that. I have seen comments. And you'll be surprised to know that these people are very hardworking people. They are very intelligent beings. They are very wonderful beings. I've had interactions with some of them, and I'm amazed that and a lot of them are older than you guys. But I'm telling you, they're all for you. All for you, basically. All right, so having said that, so we thank God for them. So fans, family, IYKERESA family, you guys are wonderful. You're great. And I can assure you that it is not only Ike and Teresa who are going to find themselves. By the grace of God, for all of you that follow them, and you also are trusting God for a life partner, God will have mercy on you, and God will bring that person who's going to love you. That person is going to love you and love you well. God will bring that person to you. It will be like you're dreaming, but before you, it will come to pass in the name of Jesus. Amen. And you will testify. You will come and you will tell us that God did it for you. God made it happen. And it will give you. Now, let's go. You are here now, and a lot has happened. Basically, a lot has happened. Just like Ike taught me, I'm going to, go on a break so that I can save the video. It was Ike who taught me that. I'm going to save the video, and then we're going to come back again. But that will be in another 3 minutes. Another 3. Let's say as soon as you finish talking about this, we'll do that. Okay? Yeah. But let's say in the next 7 minutes from now. All right, so tell me something. Where are you now? Are you afraid? Do you think you made a mistake?
No.
Is there something you've seen about how that scares you, and you go and tell your mother and say, Mama, they fear me fear. Well, what's I going to do now? Is that where you are? Or you are the place whereby you're actually looking forward to better days together?
I'm at the spot where I'm looking forward to better days. Like we're looking forward to better days together. Yeah, and I just pray and hope that like nothing comes in between us. Like it's a prayer that nothing comes in between us. So now we are in a very happy spot. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I can assure you that nothing is going to come between you. Amen. I can assure you of that. However, as a man, you're going to have to, you're going to have to man up right now, all right? And you are going to not only say you want to marry, you got to choose a date as a man. Now, a lot of people keep telling me, oh, we're still knowing each other, we're still getting to know each other, we're still studying each other, we're still knowing this. What are you studying, for God's sake? You know, what is it that you are studying? That's the question I'm asking. Some people say, but that'll be too quick, that'll be too fast. Oh, well, we've seen people who met each other and they got married the same day, and they last till now. If you think I'm kidding, Google it. Google it. You know, things have happened that people know was impossible. Why is it that yours is possible? Because the truth is this. I'll tell you something. When I got married, I didn't have over 80,000 followers who are backing me up and ready to support me. I didn't have them when I got married. All right? When my wife got married to me, she didn't have 80,000 or over 80,000 followers backing her up. We got married. We believed that God was able. Do you understand? Yeah. I'll tell you something. Even right now, for me, you are too old. I got married at 22. My wife was 21. Wow. Yeah. By the time I was your age, I had had 2 sons, and I was expecting my 3rd son.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Today they're grown. Today people look at them, and you know what some of my friends say? Some of my friends said, we thought you were mad then. Okay? We thought you were mad at that time. We thought you were crazy. You know the truth. People didn't believe in us. I'm telling you, they didn't believe in us. But you know, we had what we needed. We had each other. And we believed in each other. And we had someone who stood with us, who spoke to us, who gave us assurance. And that was God. You know, that was God. You see, when I talk about God, and it's not because I'm a pretender. It's not because I'm a hypocrite. It's because I am a man that has had experience with God. I'm a man that has been forgiven by God many times. I'm a man that has been given a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 20th chances by the living God. Don't you think I better stay with that God? A God that you can be sure of? That is my own situation. So I'm not a hypocrite. I bring God into everything because I know that it's God that puts me in a place. Without God, I have no place in life. That's the truth. He put me in a place, and I have to represent him, and I have to have him trend. When I'm there, God must trend. And that's the truth. That's the truth. That's what I'm created for, and that's what I'm doing. Now, so Ike, like I'm saying to you, you have people. Now, what is it? You want to go and see Teresa's parents? The IYKERESA family will tear that village down by the time they land there. I'm telling you. they will cause, they will cause, they will, by the time they get to the town, there will be shortage of everything. Because by the time they buy their bread, buy their water, buy their fruit, by the time they don't even have a hotel to stay overnight and everything. I'm telling you, this is your moment. And it's not as if it's going to be a wasted moment. No. And I'm saying something to you that you have God's grace. Both of you have God's grace upon your life. Both of you have the grace of increase. And so you find, like I repeat it again, because some people were not around already by the time I said that. You have the grace of increase. Anybody who gets connected to you, all right, increases. Anybody who gets connected to you becomes fruitful. It's not because of you, it's because there is a God of fruitfulness who has given grace to you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Except, except maybe there's something you've been trying to tell me when I have private sessions with yourself and Teresa that you have never told me, because both of you are always together when I talk to you. Except maybe you have this village girl that is in your village that they are keeping for you, that has twins for you. Open up now and tell us. And say you want to do it, you want to do it, but okay. So what we're going to do, I know people want to hear you talk, they want to hear your reply and all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back. I'm just going to quickly end the spot. This segment, and then I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to come back immediately. All right, I'm going to end this live video right now, but I'm going to come back immediately. All I just want to do is end it and save it, and all of us will come back together again. And the last part is the best part. The last part is the best. Understand a few things, and we are excited about the things that we are getting at the moment. We're excited about all the things that we're getting at the moment. Okay, so one of the things that I'm going to do before I actually bring Ike and Teresa back, I will try to bring Ike and Teresa back in another 5 minutes from now. But let me just quickly find out. Lucy, if you're in the house, Lucy, can you say hi to me if you're in the house? Can you say hi to me if you're in the house? Okay, I cannot see your hi yet. All right, but what about you, Mavis? If you're in the house, can you say hi to me quickly? Okay, I can call her back, so I'm just going to bring them back immediately. So I'm going back live quickly with
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, great. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you for so what is the plan? You're the man. It's you I'm going to need to ask. Now, don't say what is not. Just what is. If you're going to let us know later, that's okay. Do you understand? If you want us to know now, that's fine. But we're not going to force you. If you want us to, if you're going to let us know later, great. If you want to let us know now, great. But what is the plan?
Yeah, I'll just say what I've always said. Basically, okay. when we were in the competition, we already found love, and that was the first goal of the competition. So the next thing now was to win it. So we wanted to win it to facilitate the process, meaning if we won, we would have things that we didn't have before. Like for one, the whole
our own place.
Our own place, number one.
Yeah.
the whole traditional marriage taken care of, and then yeah, have some money to continue to live together, and from there we'll just take it up, because we are both young people, meaning we are like startups basically, and in a country like Nigeria, it is not easy to get to acquire some things. So with that at the back of my mind, and me being the kind of man that I have to be buoyant before I get into anything, that was one of the things that, like, not winning the show, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, we are still gonna do this, but it might take some time for us to acquire the set things that we want to achieve and all of that. So that was just a constraint for me.
Okay, so what we're looking at is the usual thing that as a matchmaker I always encourage people to have first, which is they can't afford to go into marriage without certain basic things on ground. They have to have some things on ground, so you don't have to become dependent, where you depend on people for what you should have by yourself.
Because I'm the kind of guy that I don't want to rely on anybody. My parents, nobody. I just want to get things done by myself. I don't want to, I mean, yeah, I would accept anything, but I want it to be like organic. I don't want it to be like you're just doing me. Yeah. You understand? I don't know. There's a way it happens for me. Like, if we won, I'll be like, yeah, we deserve to win or whatever. But obviously, God had different plans for us, because he knows all. He's the all-seeing eye. He's the all-knowing God. So with that happening the way it happened, I knew it was God's plan, and I knew that we are go-getters. We're gonna work to achieve all our goals and dreams and everything, and we're gonna do it together. So it's going to be a journey and a process for us. So I don't have any doubts that we're gonna achieve what we want at the end of the day. Yeah, it might just not come as soon as it should have if we won, but it will come inevitably. So with that at the back of my mind, I'm cool. But you guys are looking forward to it. Yes. We've had conversations about it, even in the love part. Even in the love part, we talked about it. Okay. So Teresa, would you say you're becoming impatient or you're becoming desperate? Would you say you want it now?
No, sir. I don't know why people have that notion of some desperation coming from me.
No, I don't have that. I don't have that notion. I don't have that notion. I'm just asking. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, in general, no, because I've actually seen like side comments and the rest of that. Well, I'm a young woman. Okay, I'm 23, and yes, my life in a way was so fast because everything is happening so fast for me. So I planned everything to happen in certain times and age and stages and all of that. But there's one thing I had at the back of my mind. I always say it's better late than actually being in a marriage that I would regret. So if I actually wanted to be married, or if I was desperate, I would have been married a long time ago, because there were actually suitors that maybe had money and blah, blah, blah to facilitate the wedding. But I didn't want that. I actually wanted a man that I love and loves me for me. So I'm no way desperate. I'm no way pressurizing him. No. Sometimes I even ask him randomly. I'm like, hey, I know we've discussed this before, but I hope you don't feel pressurized or pressured in any way. And he says, oh no, because I don't want to put him in that space of making him feel like, oh, you must marry me or nothing. The only thing I ask of him is, at every time, I just need that assurance from you that we're not wasting our time. Because I'm not going to lie, I didn't go into the love pad for a short-term kind of relationship. I went there for long-term, for marriage. So I cannot now go into the love pad and now not achieve what I went there to. So And that's the only thing I ask of him every time. I'm like, fine, why not get married this year? I don't know when, God's time, but I just want that assurance that we still have each other. It's a work in progress, and we're going to do this very soon. So there's no desperation here. We're taking our time.
No desperation, no.
I'm very
rushing.
Ambitious. Yeah, I'm very ambitious. So I'm ready to work with him. Even before coming to his place, I already told him in the love part, I'm ready to do this with you. I'm ready to work with you. So any length, any way it takes us, I'm in with you. So there's nothing as such here. We're just gonna take our time. Pray that everything happens faster than we imagine. Because I mean, if the money comes, what is holding us? We're adults, right?
That's right.
And we're ready. So it's just the
you guys are even too old. You are too old as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So we are
this
good.
We're not age is to me, age has always just been like a number. And I always felt old.
No, I was just kidding. I was just trying to get at you guys, honestly.
Yeah, I've always
felt old. When we came out and we saw people calling us our babies, I was like, really? in my head, I'm an old man. I've always been like that, so I've always felt like time is catching up with me. So I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
But we are babies anyway.
Well.
Okay, well, maybe what they mean, I see that a lot, I see that everywhere, but maybe what they mean more is people that they think they have to care for, people that they think they have to be there for, and all that. And one of the things you will find that will happen for you is that you're going to find out that you're going to that which you're asking for right now, which you trust God for, to give you, to facilitate your marriage, it will come in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
God is going to bring it to you. Do you understand? Yeah. That way people will know it was God who did this. Do you understand? You didn't have to win a competition to have what is your own, what you should have, what belongs to you. It will come, and because God is more than that, it will come to you, and you will use it to the glory of his name, in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so now let me quickly look at something, looking at the time to know so we don't overstretch this. Now let me look at something with both of you, or let me quickly catch on with something that you need to understand. I appreciate the fact that you guys do not, and you're right, and I agree with you completely, that you may not need to rush anything right now. But at the same time, we will always want to make sure we see you, building your lives, so that in June, by the time we see you in June, by the grace of God, we'll realize that you have grown together. By the time we see you in October, we realize that you have grown together. By the time we see you in December, we realize that you have grown than where you were in April or in March. Do you understand? Yeah?
Yes.
That way, a lot of people are hopeful. They're working towards making sure that which should be yours becomes yours, and that is it. Now, but then you find out that there are some people who do not have the kind of time that you have. They're here. They are in the IYKERESA family. They're not where they don't have that kind of time, because you find out that once a woman becomes 35, not just a woman alone, once a woman and a man becomes 35, finding a life partner begins to become more difficult. They're in their midlife already, and finding a life partner becomes a lot difficult for them, because at this stage right now, their chances of finding somebody who will just be right for them is quite less. It's lower. Those chances are lower than before they got to that point. What begins to happen right now is Most of their mates are already getting married. Most of their mates are married. And a lot is beginning to change. Even in the circle in which they are in, they are not able to find themselves, you know, fitting anymore. Because by the time you find a single woman who is above 35 right now, she used to have 7 friends and 6 of them are married, you know. Suddenly she finds out she doesn't really fit. They will still try to invite her in. They'll still try to bring her into the circle, but she'll realize she just does fit in anymore. Because every time she comes in alone. So what happens is she now begins to withdraw. She begins to stay away from this set of people. And before you know what's going on, her life begins to change. Sometimes you find people become, they just go in and become people that stay so much away from everyone. And people begin to ask questions. Oh, we haven't seen this person again. We haven't seen this person for some time now. What is happening to this person? What's happening to that person? It's a lot. Because you see, there are times that when there's certain things need to happen for you, and those things don't happen. Even if you don't miss it and you don't feel bad about it, people are going to make sure they rub it in your nose. They rub it in your face. People are going to make sure they rub it on you. And so a lot of your fans, some of your fans who are within that age range are going through certain things, you know. They want to meet someone now and they want to get married right now. When you look at some of them, you think they are desperate. No, they may not necessarily be desperate. They just feel that they are at a point where certain things have to happen for them and it is not happening. So they become concerned. Are you with me? They become quite concerned. What they were not concerned about before, they become concerned about it. Do you understand? Yeah? And then it looks like they're being troubled. You know? It looks like they're being troubled one way or the other. It's not everybody who feels this way. But I can assure you that even some people who tell you that's not true, they don't feel that way, they may not be telling us the complete truth. Because everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants companionship. Everybody wishes that they can find their own person, their own kind of person. People want their own. Okay, they want their own. Now, so you find out that the kind of people that now start coming around them are people with a lot of baggage. You know, people with so many kind of baggage, people with history, people with story. So it looks like the best is not out there again for them. It looks like if they had done this before now, they could have gotten someone that they could have been more comfortable with. But they feel at this point in time, they seem to have missed out on what they could have had. Because guess what? Most of the guys who are probably in, it's a global thing. It's a global thing. When you look at guys between from 40 to 60, that age group, they're going through a lot. When you look at 40 to 60 years, it's a global thing. They're going through a lot. Most of the men are not doing very well. Most of the men are not doing very well at all. And yet these women want to get married. Now, is it that there are no men? There are men. But most of the men are not doing